So here we are, episode 2 at 88s. Thank you, 88s, for hosting us again for the podcast. First guest that we have is my wife, Allie Rodriguez.
My wife.
Co-owner of ORO Athletic. And I think it'll be fun to hear from your side some of the things that you were thinking, and maybe you'll be a little more open with your thoughts of everything since concept to now, because I kind of just threw you into this whole let's open a gym thing.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool because in episode 1 we talked about your experience and your past and how it led you to owning ORO and opening ORO. So I think it'd be cool to bring in your side of it, how you got involved, what were your goals, and then how you guys conquered it together.
I love that. I feel like a Nepo wife. Like, this is why I got the first slot on your podcast.
That's
so
right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Of course.
Are you jealous, by the way, that Chris is next to me and I'm not next to you?
I think a little bit of separation is good when you work with
How do you feel
your
about the hand on the thigh? You like it?
I guess I'll have to be okay with that.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, how about this? We moved to Charlotte. I'll kind of just speed up the timeline. We moved to Charlotte 2023, right? January 2023?
January, yep.
Okay. We knew that we wanted to open a gym at some point. I started making some research moves in November of 2023. What was your thought when I started looking into opening a gym, what it would take, starting to plan and all that? I can't even say creating the business plan, just planning. And then by January of 2024, we saw our first space. So it was like 2 months. Tell me, walk me through what you were thinking in that timeline. Like, did you believe it? Did you actually think we're going to go through with something like this? Did it just sound like a fun dream that maybe we would go for?
I knew since being together, so we started dating in, what's the timeline?
I wish I knew. It's been
Right.
8 years. That's all I know.
We started dating in 2018. And I knew in the first year or two of being together that you wanted to open up a gym. Again, didn't know if that was going to happen. A lot of people in their early 20s want to start a business. That sounds like a great idea. So I knew it was on your radar. Did I know if it was actually going to happen? Not really, but we wanted to move. We wanted to potentially open a gym. We wanted to start a family. There was a lot of moving parts, and I think the idea behind owning your own business sounded like a really cool idea, but the financials, I'm a bit more conservative, I would say. Like, I like to have a game plan and understand how much money we're spending, how much money is coming in, and the whole thought of being a risk taker and just diving into opening up a business definitely scared me a little bit. But as soon as you started taking the steps in the process a little bit more seriously, I could be on board, support, and really be involved in the dream and the vision once I saw steps in the right direction. But I initially was not going to take those steps because I think I'm a little bit too safe when it comes to business. And so I needed a partner to really push me to go to the next level and actually decide to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I even for myself thought it felt quick as we started getting anything from planning into momentum and seeing our first space in January of 2024. We thought we wouldn't even open a gym until March of 2025. We thought it'd be 2 years from moving from January 2023 sometime in spring of 2025. That was my timeline on just an idea. We saw the space. I saw a couple spaces before in like December, and I would tell you about it. I remember telling you, and I think you're like, oh, that's cool. I don't know if you believed much about it yet, or like nothing was exciting.
Were you stoked on the space when you first saw it? Or like could you envision ORO being in that like warehouse?
So back up on the timeline a little bit too. So we moved to Charlotte and I get pregnant month 1 of moving to Charlotte. So yes, we wanted to open up a gym, but I'm like, we had never.
Nice.
This was our first baby. Like, there was so many changes that
That wasn't planned either, right? Like it just
No,
happened.
that was planned.
But
Number 2, not planned. Number 1 was planned, but it was still
It was
like
a lot faster than we expected.
It was faster than we expected. So we have the baby in October of 2023. Then we get this space kind of thrown in our lap early 2024. And seeing the space, we were kind of like, oh shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it was too early in my eyes, that I kind of went into it knowing like, oh, nothing's going to happen from this. Then we see the space and we're kind of like, we see vision here.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty updated. It kind of gives that vibe of like updated, cool warehouse. And I don't know if I assumed we'd initially be in a space like that, but things just made sense. And we had a 5-month-old at the time. Like, I don't know, it kind of freaked me out that I was like, am I supposed to like this space? Because if we move forward, we had to commit to opening 6 to 8 months before we actually thought we were going to open. So again, from like the financial perspective, I'm like doing numbers and math. I'm like, are we ready for this? But it's like, are you ever ready for it? I mean, granted, yes, there are moments that you will be, but I almost paralleled it to having a baby. It's like you and your partner want to have a baby, but then when you actually get pregnant and you're almost at the end, you're like, holy shit, am I ready for this? Do I know how to take care of a baby? Like, am I ready to own this business? Like, yes, we did the steps. We are ready, but it just felt scary.
Yeah, it's like having 2 babies at once, really.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I told you this, when we first saw the space, I was still like 50-50 on it.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know what it was. I think it looks so warehousey, and in my mind, because you build things up so much in your mind of what something's going to look like, and also for me, I wasn't creative enough to think of what it would look like once the flooring's down, the paint job, and all this stuff. So I was like, is this really going to work?
I
Or is
had
it
no clue what to expect. Like, I was lucky enough to get in there, like, the month you guys, like, signed the lease and, like,
Yeah.
committed to the space. And, like, even at first, I was like, this is sick, right? Like, but I still couldn't envision a gym in there yet.
It was an open shell.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we've now created the multi-purpose room. We created a faux wall. Like, it really was just an open space. So I do understand how it's hard to see the vision when you walked in early.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's so much potential
It
from
is,
the start.
and it's, like, a good-sized space, I feel like, to own your first gym. Right? It's not too big, but it's not too small. Like, it was kind of, like, the perfect, like, and perfect location.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that you guys got really lucky with the space, the timing, you know. And, you know, fast forward, you guys have been open, a little over a year now.
Yeah.
So you guys opened the gym ahead of schedule, and now a year in, are you guys, you know, ahead of schedule from where you expected to be?
So we built out a pro forma. Allie and I talk about this on like our personal pages all the time about how important planning is, especially in that idea stage. And then that's kind of like your blueprint of like, okay, I need to be somewhere within this range so I know that I'm on track. And I think our break even was 7 or 8 months on, I think it's 8 months on there,
What's the average for a gym to break even at?
like 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years?
Yeah, depending on the size.
Right.
So size is going to be a huge thing and how much, you put into it. And I'm not saying that we paid off our debt. Like it took out a lot of debt to start it up. Like
Right.
it cost us $530K to all in get the space to the gym that it is with equipment, flooring, upfitting, everything.
But you guys are profiting monthly now from said gym, right?
We're profiting monthly now. So on our pro forma, I think it said month 8 was break even, and we hit break even at month 7. But what pro formas don't account for, which is why it's like a conservative, it's an estimate, is we have like a triple pay period month. So 3 pay periods, and we have a staff. Now we got to pay, instead of 2 pay periods a month, and that's easy to allocate, we have 2 months out of the year that there's 3, and that takes a bigger hit, like a 7K plus hit. There's a couple other things that came up where it was like, you have to pay something extra because something happens, or
Something gets a roof, HVAC gets stolen.
HVAC, yeah, whatever it is. So all these things that like you don't expect, you have an unforeseen section, let's say, but you don't allot that much money. You might say like $100 to $500 a month. This might be like a 5K one-time hit. And you're like, whoa, there's a lot. And other times it might not be. So by the time we started breaking even, and then it would be like, we'd be positive a little bit back to like break even, or sometimes negative in terms of profits, and then back up to positive. And then last December, which is, what are we in, 2026? So 2025 was the first time we hit like 10K in profits. And we're like, oh shit, all right, this is moving. And then January kept staying at that mark or higher. And February, we're also on track. Currently we're in February. So I'm like, okay, things have snowballed and added up, and now we're in a really good spot. I'd have to go back and look at the pro forma, and I don't know why I haven't yet, to see if that's what the trend was at this point. I think we were probably around like 6K, not 10K.
And we've also never given ourselves a raise. So that's another thing to account for. allotted X amount a month to pay out ourselves as owners, like for an owner's draw, but it's a very low amount of money. So we both have our private training on the side. So we essentially fund our life and our kids and pay our mortgage with our private training on the side. Like what we give ourselves from our gym income is not a very sustainable living. And so over time, we'd love to give ourselves a raise. Yeah. But it's exciting to see the turning point in, you know, the membership uptick, the personal training uptick, and how that has really played into us breaking even. But we also have to account for, like, eventually we would like to take more of a salary, but we are still paying both of us.
Right.
Yeah, and honestly, like, we have a loan repayment. You know, we had an investor, so it's not like a bank loan. But it's, if you have an investor, you pretty much are taking a loan from someone. And you pay that back monthly. You have a monthly plan. We want to get to a point where we, like, make a good amount of money that's stocked into our savings that we can put a lump sum payment down, and that our monthly payments would be a lot less. It's like paying off college debt. You know what I mean? Something like that. So as of September of last year, I remember telling Allie, I felt we were really hitting our stride. I felt like creatively, on social media, in the gym, we had so much more confidence in what we were doing. And then December hit with profits, and we're like, oh shoot, like it all just finally like everything's been snowballing. And then you see the snowball, how big it gets, and you're like, wow, that it wasn't like we were 1K, then 3K, then 5K profit. It was like break even, a little bit of profit, big profit out of nowhere. And we're like, where the hell did this come from? It makes sense once you look at the numbers and break them all down. But at first I just didn't realize that was going to happen. But to backtrack, in the first 3 months that we opened, would you think we both, I know I was a little nervous, and I feel like, you know, we've talked off camera and off podcast about this, but were you nervous at first? Were you like, oh shit, did we pick the right style? Did we pick the right location? Are we doing everything right? Or were you like, oh no, I have confidence in us, we'll figure it out?
Ultimately, I had confidence in what we created, and because we were niche enough, but also really appealed to this huge demographic of people training for high rocks now and just doing like hybrid styles of training. Like I knew that our gym and the style of gym can be successful, but it was definitely more money than I expected to spend, and to get the aesthetic that we wanted and to really like create that vibe and look, it was expensive. And so from a financial perspective, and just seeing like we opened right before the holidays and everyone travels November, December. And so there's not a huge, after pre-sale, there wasn't really great months following that. So the first 3 months, like I was nervous, but I tried not to let it get to me. And I think after going through a full calendar year, it's given us so much confidence, and not taking 1 month and how the outcome of that 1 month, not being emotional about it. Like I remember we would hit a month and we were like, okay, our goal is to get 17 new memberships every single month to stay on track and outpace attrition and make sure we're going in the right direction. And so we had a month or two over our first summer being open, and we didn't realize everyone in Charlotte decides to become a marathon runner over summer. And so people are freezing or pausing their memberships or canceling because they're not using the gym as much. And so we had 1 or 2 months that were pretty slow. And it kind of was this moment of like, holy shit, are we doing the right thing? I'm now pregnant with baby number 2. I'm about to give birth. Like, you know, I'm always thinking about the money, and is the money coming in, and how are we going to make this work? And so there were phases during the first year where I definitely felt nervous and kind of had this doubt of, are we doing the right thing? Did we do enough? Did we put enough money into the right things? Did we spend too much? But ultimately, I think that we've gained a lot of confidence and just understanding of the market, the ebbs and flows of the business. And I feel really, really good where we're at now. And I see so much success for ORO in the future. And I feel so confident in us and what we built.
Yeah. So when, like, I know when you guys have those stressful months, things aren't going like quite the way you may have expected them to. Do you guys have like a set time of the week that you guys plan to talk about the business? Because like you don't want to take it home with you, and like I'm sure like keeping the blend like separate is like hard to do. Like how do you guys like handle like not letting it stress you guys out as like business partners, but also like being married?
You know, that's a really good question, because I think if I were to give someone else advice that's in business with their significant other, I would probably recommend having those set days of the week or those moments of, hey, we're going to sit down and talk about business, but we really don't do that. And I will be honest, like the business does bleed into our personal life a lot, but we're both so invested and so invigorated by this whole process that we really enjoy it. And I don't think it adds stress. We have stressful conversations, but it doesn't bleed stress into our relationship. I think that we've always been really good communicators, and we can communicate the things we're stressed about, and the other person can kind of help relieve some of that stress, or just talk about why is this stress coming up? How can we move forward and push past this? So we don't have set times, and we do talk about business basically every single day. But I do feel like there's kind of this shift in time, like past 9 p.m. we're shutting it down.
Yeah.
Like it's time to go to bed. I want to do a quick TikTok scroll, and like I'm ready to shut it down. Like we'll chat again at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
One thing that's interesting is like I work with like a lot of different business owners, and everyone seems stressed all the time, but you two never seem to, like, you guys just stay level-headed 24/7. I feel like there's never like one day where like you seem more stressed than normal, or you feel like more stressed than normal. You know, it's like you guys seem to keep it chill all the time, which is pretty cool to see, especially like because like I see enough of the behind the scenes to know that, you know, it's stressful, right? So I would never know that you guys like had good months or bad months. You know, they all just seem the same to me.
Yeah. Boxing helps.
Yeah.
Punch it out.
Sure.
I punch a bag, she punches me. It's great. So, but and like what happened like, in the beginning, I agree. Allie and I feel like have great communication. I think we have a very strong partnership in terms of marriage. And then when it came to business, that was a whole new venture. And kids, that actually added a little bit of chaoticness. And I don't want to call it too much stress because it's just like you're just learning as a new parent. But when we first did the business at the same time as like having one kid who's 5 to 6 months or whatever it was, maybe he was a year by the time we finally opened. And you found out you're pregnant with the second one the month before we opened.
Yes.
So September of 2024, she finds out she's pregnant. October, that's next month, that's when the gym was opening. So we had all this planned. And in the beginning, I knew I was going to take on a lot. I was like, I'm going to be the front-facing person. You're pregnant. We have a kid at home. We're navigating that. Like, we're going to split roles, but we didn't determine what those roles were in the beginning for the gym. So I felt like I was taking on everything. And at one point, it was a little more stressful that Allie and I actually had like a true conversation where I'm like, I feel like I am doing everything. And then she voiced how she felt with being at home with a kid and the business. Plus, she also does nutrition and personal training privately. Yeah. So there's that, and writing programs. And I also not only do in-person training, but I do virtual training. I don't talk about it, but I do virtual training too, because most of my stuff's in person. So we had like a stronger conversation. I wouldn't even call it an argument. It was just like we both voiced what we were thinking. And at first it was, I don't want to say it wasn't heated. It was just like, you could tell it wasn't like this calm, collected talk. It was like, I felt like I was stressed and I needed to voice it. And then she had to like voice how she was feeling. And they were like, all right, let's like sit back, let's come together and like talk about this. And we affirmed of like, who does what? Like, we both can't be the social media manager.
Right.
We both can't be the financial person on payroll and who's doing what. We can't be both the reporting person. There's certain sections in reporting we both can do, but who's doing what? And like, we were very adamant about like, this is your role. This is what you do on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis. And that changed everything.
You said that was like 2 months in?
Yeah, 2 to 3 months in. And then
I agree, that was a big shifting point because we have our designated roles, and then for big conversations we both talk about and have input, but because I feel like we have two separate jobs within the business, it definitely not having too much overlap has really helped just make it run smoothly and not feel as stressed and there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, I highly recommend anyone that gets in the business with their partner, make sure you establish that. It's like, here's the role: CEO, CFO, trainer, whatever it is, social media manager. What do you do on that too? Like, social media manager, I need to post, I need to schedule, I write the captions, I hand select the media given to us by Chris Ashworth Photography. Jeez, I'm stumbling on words. But that's where she does all that. I don't really have a big say. She might be like, hey, what do you think of this? And I'll put my input. And she either is like, hey, like your input, or I don't care what you're saying, I'm doing what I want. And normally it's not that. But it's like, that's why we have the separate roles, because it really does help you know what you need to accomplish within a week to week, month to month. And then when we evaluate at the end of the month, we're like, okay, here's where we're at. Here's all the numbers. What do we got to do for next month going forward? We just did our first year end, we call it a board meeting. And we just review the year in total. And we looked at every month in our numbers tracker of how many members did we have? How many did we gain? How many did we lose? How many leads came in? How many came into the gym from just opting in? How many did we turn into members or training clients or whatever? What's been effective? What's not? What events are stupid? Let's not do that again. What events were super effective? Let's keep doing that. So it was a giant conversation. So it was fun doing that. And I felt like that was extremely helpful, but you just don't know what you know. So when you walk into business, people can give you this advice. Having someone either that's been through it, is a consult of yours, you can hire a consultant, you can have a mentor, you can have an advisor, someone like that can kind of walk you through what to expect is so helpful. And that's kind of why, not to circle this back to the podcast, but that's why I wanted to do this podcast with you, because we both, like you said, you work with a lot of business owners. I've met and got to partner and collab with a lot of business owners and just confide in them. And they'll consult me, I consult them, we advise each other, whatever it is. And you hear everything, and everyone has different experiences, but at the basis, a lot of the things are the same in business. It's you need to have a plan, you need to have some sort of pro forma, but also business plan, those two things. You have to know how to do your reporting and have your metrics and how to scale things. Otherwise, you're walking in blind, you have no idea what's going on. If you're partnered with someone, who's doing what? Is your partner a good partner? Or I've heard stories of people partnering with people that are just not the best. They don't do what they're supposed to do. They're bad at communicating. They steal from the business. They end up leaving, and it puts a hole into. It's crazy what you hear. So I feel obviously we're fortunate that we're not only married and have a strong partnership, but then we also wanted something like this. It is stressful. I don't know why we don't get stressed. I don't really feel stressed. You don't seem to be stressed, even in conversations that we have. And I'm being very transparent here. When we're at home, I don't feel like either of us really come with stress. Once in a while, it's the kids were fussing all day. And I'm well, I've been working since 5 to 9, and I don't really have a lot of emotional energy or whatever it is. And we still are fine. Everything works well. We have great conversations with each other. We don't really attack each other. I don't know. I don't know what the advice would be to give to someone to not go punch something. I don't know. Maybe punch a bag. That might help.
What's harder, running a business or having 2 kids?
They're hard in different ways. I will say, we have childcare. We have help. I'm not, trying to be a full-time mom and do my own side business and run the business. So, thank God. I mean, I don't think I could do all of that. But they both come with challenges, honestly.
I was curious if, after you had the second one, I was is the gym gonna be a daycare some days? Is they gonna be there hanging out or what? And you guys do a great job of balancing that. It's crazy.
We try to. It's we love being parents. We love our kids. We love bringing them to different things to
I feel
have
when
them,
they show up, they're celebrities.
Right. We like to have them acclimate
crazy.
to fun adult dinners too, or bring them to the Super Bowl party or whatever. But also I want a life outside of being a parent, and that isn't going to be my only personality. I'm showing up to all the ORO events. We don't have any family that lives here, so we make sacrifices and we pay for extra childcare or babysitters or whatever on the weekends so we can still show up and be present and really be as involved as possible, because we're not getting any younger. I'm a 55-year-old is probably not going to be as involved in with the young kids at the gym as we can in our early 30s. So we're doing what we can to be there all the time.
Yeah, that's fun. Do you guys still find time I guess you guys use the childcare to find time to not go to the gym and be together, not stay at home together, you guys still go out and have nights out and stuff like that? Do you guys make time to do that every week or what?
We should. It's funny when he was talking about that year-end review, and we reviewed how the business is going and kind of made stock of month over month, what could be better, what was successful. But we also did that for our personal life too. And that's the first time we've done that. And I really, really liked that. And I would like to continue doing that every quarter, every month, every year, just to say, are we feeling fulfilled in business and personal life? And that was one thing we said, after having 2 under 2, 2 pregnancies back to back, we definitely lowered the date nights and going out and just doing our thing. So unless it's it's Chris's birthday, we're gonna get a babysitter and go out for his birthday, we don't do as much together. And so that's something that was kind of on on our list for 2026 of doing that a little bit more and prioritizing that. And it's funny because I feel like we still spend a lot of time together, but our time is talking about business a lot, which to me and Nick is very fulfilling, but we know that we need to separate that
Right.
some and also just focus on the relationship too.
Yeah, just like hanging out.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
now we have
being
3
people.
babies, basically, like
Yeah.
the kids and the gym. And so we have just told ourselves, like, this is the phase of life we're in, and we're fine with that. We know this phase comes with less travel, less socializing, maybe less working out than we want, but like, we're going to do whatever we can to make it happen and thrive in every category.
So less working out. You guys are doing a doubles high rocks
Yes.
in March, right? May?
And
End
beginning of
May.
April.
Beginning of April.
Beginning of April.
I got my dates all messed up. How is the training going for that?
Oh, it's terrible.
Is it?
It's amazing and terrible at the same time. I'm the type of person, and I think Nick is the same. Anything we do, we want to be good at, and we want to succeed. So I will kill myself 7 days a week to make sure I get a good high rocks time.
As if owning a business and having 2 kids wasn't enough. Let's train for a doubles high rocks as well, right?
She's definitely doing way more than I am on the training side.
I haven't seen you train at all.
So I
haven't been
train
around, but-
a little bit, but it's
I
like
think Nick's like a sleeper. Like, he's
Yeah, I
like a
think so
sleeper
too.
high rockser.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Yeah.
going to be like out of nowhere. People are going to be like, this guy barely trained. I mean, you do crazy other types of training, but in his head, he's like, I QC athletes once a
Yeah.
month. I got this. I'm like,
I know
okay,
I need
I'm
more
killing
than that.
myself.
I know I need more than that. It's just like
You have great cardio because the boxing. Like
That helps
off
a
the
lot.
rip, like I feel like your running's gonna be fine and like the overall engine's gonna be cool, but it's like those wall balls at the end, man. That's gonna be tough.
So I've been adding those in even on strength days and just doing like wall balls with like a 20 pounder. And I'm like, I'll knock out 50 as fast as I can, then go into my workout. I'll do like 50 burpees as fast as I can, and I'll go into whatever workout. And even when I do a high rocks day, I'll still do that, or like a mile and a quarter run or whatever it is, on a treadmill, which I hate treadmill running. But it's mainly because all my workout time, it's like I wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to go train, and I'll get this block at like 8 to 10 to work out. And I'm like, okay, I can work out. And then I got to stay around the gym because I don't live close enough to go home, shower, and change. And I'm like, I don't want to be dripping sweat and then be here till 7:30 p.m. just sitting in salty sweat. And I sweat a lot. I have no hair. It goes everywhere. Like it's a lot. So I have to be very selective on my days that I can do high rocks training. And sometimes I'm like, okay, here's my high rocks day. Let's just do way more than I probably should, or go like heavier weights, go longer, whatever it is. And that I feel like has been helping me. And I'm hoping towards March and April, the schedule opens up. We'll see if that actually is going to happen.
We'll see.
I could be the worst partner ever. So good luck. She's going to carry the team.
Yeah. How are you guys? I was gonna ask, how are you guys gonna break up each like workout or like section? Or, like,
We're
station?
actually doing a sim on Thursday.
Okay.
We're doing like a kind of half, kind of full sim. We're doing half the runs, but full stations to see how we break it up. But
So pretty much I'm going to run and she's going to do all the events.
Yeah, you just
It's
carry her.
So yeah, it's going to be hard for me. I know, but someone's got to do it.
no, I'm a strategic planner because like anytime we do QCA, like with my group, I'm like, this is our strategy. Like I'm always the game planner because I want to win. And so like, I feel like Thursday we're going to game plan and like, we're going to kill it. I'm ready.
What do you anticipate your best event or your best, I guess event to be and your worst one to be?
Farmers carries for me.
Best.
I
That's
think
gonna be your best
smoke
for
that
sure.
one. I hope. I should.
My best, I'm actually feeling pretty good about the burpee broad jump, honestly.
Okay.
I feel like I wouldn't want to, I'm not saying I want to do singles and do the whole thing, but like I feel like my jump and speed is pretty good if we're doing like 6 to 8 burpee broad jumps and like tag in, tag out. I feel confident on that, and I'm pretty good at the ski erg. Rower, I'm not great at, but my worst event is probably either sled push or pull. The pull is just like heavy doing the guy's weight. I can do it, but not as efficiently. And the push, like the lactic acid in your quads, like that and running before and after that is going to be tough. Like I just want to like strategically tag in, tag out so I don't get like crazy cramps.
Completely gassed. What's
Yeah.
your worst one gonna be?
Rower form's not the best, but I feel okay with it.
Like you can like muscle through it. Kinda.
Yeah, and I like him. I was doing a timing out of it, and it wasn't like a terrible time. I actually felt like it was pretty on par with what most people post. Sled, I'm not worried about. Pull or push, in all honesty. Short limbs, easy to step. That kind of thing. I feel like I got a strong back. But I kind of feel like just where the lunges land will be tiring. that might be the worst because I keep hearing about that one, although I don't find walking lunges to be so tiring. But again, it's so late into the high rocks. So we'll see what happens.
I think I'd be cooked in the lunges. I think
Lunge
I'd be
and
done.
wobble, I think, are back to back. Are those the last two events?
I forget if it goes that or
I mean,
if it's
I don't know the order,
lunge,
but
burpee, broad jump, and then
Yeah.
I don't remember. I have to double check, which is terrible. Because
Have you guys been running?
not as much as we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm stoked for Miami, and
Miami's
I
gonna be
think
so
that you guys
fun.
are gonna. What day is your? What day?
We're on Saturday, which I'm excited about.
It's crazy. We have like 30 plus people. I think 30 people are competing, and then like an extra like 5 to 10 that are coming to like just support.
Just hang out.
I'm like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a fun weekend.
Yeah. One question I have when it comes to our business partnership, what's your favorite thing? And then after that, what's your least favorite thing if you have one? I gotta know both sides.
Okay.
She didn't tell me this often at home, so I'm like, I want to
Yeah,
do it
get all
in
the
front of
get all the
everyone.
get all the good questions
Yeah,
on
yeah.
now.
My favorite thing about our business partnership is knowing that we both have the same vision for Oro, what we want Oro to become long term, and really start to finish. Like, so far, I feel like everything is really aligned. And I also really appreciate that we both have a similar personality in the sense that we're both very money motivated and driven. And I think that's really pushed Oro in the right direction. We're really big go-getters. We're not just going to sit and see what happens and say, oh, so it's a bad month. Like, let's hope the next month is better. Like, we are taking action steps to ensure the next month will 1,000% be better than maybe one of our lower dips. And so I really appreciate that because we're going to make it happen and we're going to be successful. And we both like truly believe that and do things that prove that that's going to happen. Least favorite, let me take a second to think.
If you want to tell me the other 24 top things you like about me, we can go with
Start
that.
there.
I have a least favorite.
Okay, she got that. Wait for
Yeah,
that.
she was ready.
Like, she was like, all right.
that was a fake thing.
Let me take 2 seconds to think about it. Okay, yeah, here we go. This isn't necessarily directly business focused. I think it's just in the stage of life that we're in. I do a lot of parenting by myself, and that sucks sometimes, to be honest. And I love the kids. I love this life stage, but a lot of times I think like, ugh, I wish that mom and dad could do bedtime together. I wish mom and dad could get the kids up and ready together. And we're very fortunate to have childcare during the day because we both do work full time. But like Nick said, he works from 5 a.m. to 7:30, 8:30, 9 p.m. sometimes. So I do the morning routine most days of the week by myself. I do from pickup of the kids at 4 p.m. until their bedtime at 8 p.m. by myself. I do a lot of weekends by myself because he works on the weekends. And that is the sacrifice that we knew from the start that we would have to make. And it's just the nature of the business. Like, we work in a business that's open 363 days of the year. Like, Thanksgiving and Christmas Day are the only 2 days of the year that most gyms are closed. And we know that we're in the grind mode right now. And it does suck that like we're in grind mode when we have young kids and it feels so like fun and important to be there for them, but we're setting our family up for an amazing future. And so I know that that is a sacrifice and he has to take on more of the business and I take on more ownership at home, and we're a team, and that's what it has to be. And so I'm not unhappy with the, I'll say the division of labor, but sometimes it does suck. I'm like, I really wish that, every night we could do bedtime and sing songs and stories and stuff like that together, because some days are hard and we have tantrums, or some days are really special and amazing. And I'm like, I wish Nick could be here for these moments. And I think he's a really great and present dad, but we just know the sacrifice that it takes to start and run this business.
Yeah. Right now, I feel like you act as like owner operator and a little bit more hands off because you have to, raise the kids.
Yeah.
And you're more, I guess, manager. Like, you're in the gym more. You're more of a face, right? Have you thought about when you're going to take a step back and be more owner operator and hand the keys to like someone else to like kind of run it more?
Yeah, we've been talking about it a little bit more lately, and not that it's going to be anywhere in the immediate future, but because of the volume of training that I do, I would have to replace my quantity with someone else or 2 people that can do the same amount of training. And this is not like a brag thing, it's just a numbers perspective. Right. They don't have to be a boxing coach. Obviously, I do mainly boxing, kickboxing. I do some personal training too. But it could be anything, but for the financials to make sense, like to take out that much trading volume and revenue, you need to replace it with something. My guess is it'd probably be like 3 to 5 years, which I know sounds like a while, although I can also condense how much training I'm doing in that 3 to 5 years. And it's mainly because, again, we do want to see this grow so much. So it requires a lot of attention. And the more that we can profit in the beginning, the faster we could pay off our debt and our loan, quote unquote. So it's like that's almost the first thing we want to do. And then if we expand, we're going to be probably taking on more debt because it costs money to flip a space. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And then eventually the general manager side, like that one isn't as taxing, to be honest. So I don't mind doing that. Even if I was like hands off, I can do that really well. The sales component, I can kind of do hands off pretty well. I've done it when I was in Miami. I was selling memberships out of nowhere. I was like messaging people and I was like, that's cool. Like I can do this from almost anywhere. I'm going to say like 3 to 5 years before I see myself really reducing, if not completely stepping away from being like the
full-time
contractor.
trainer.
Yeah, if that makes sense. And you know, a lot can change in 3 to 5 years. Like we have an idea of where we're going to go and what ORO is going to look like. Some cool opportunity can come up and it might shift us in a different direction. That's kind of the cool thing about having a relative plan. It's like, you know where you want to go, but you're very open that it can, like, instead of going down I-85 highway, you can go down 77 and get to the same end goal. It just might be a different route that you go.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I know, North Carolina right there. 3 years here, I kind of know where the streets and all.
What's the goal for the next 3 to 5 years of ORO? Like the gym itself, not you guys, the gym itself.
It's interesting because I think before opening ORO and asking what is your 5 to 10 year plan, we would have probably initially said opening 3 to 8 locations long term. But now just being in the first one and seeing with the type of gym we have, it feels very, to me, I would call it elevated mom and pop, in the sense of we love being the owners, but everyone knows the owners and we're really there and immersed in it and creating this awesome community. And so after seeing in the last year and a half, a little less than year and a half, what we've done, I keep thinking, God, I can't imagine like picking up and doing this 3 to 5 more times. Like, so with that thought in mind, like what are the other options for growing this even bigger? And so I would love to see ORO expand our current location and potentially double our space where we're at now, instead of immediately feeling like we're jumping ship to open a different one. Like I don't want to, I know it won't do away with what we've done, but the thought of doing that exact same thing again feels a little bit stressful. I just feel like we're kind of in this cruise mode right now of, we don't feel like we're cruising exactly, like we're still trying to build, but I do feel like we're in such a good place and it's kind of naturally building itself, that I do want a little break from always being in that like high intensity, like build, grind.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a groove and it's a good groove. And like you said, we're still building. There's still things that we're doing to, I don't know if I love the word optimize because I feel like it's just thrown around from everyone in business right now, but like we're doing things to make things better. So optimize. But there's things that we're going to try to do creatively or try and see if that also does some unique things for the gym in terms of growth and also community internally. There's potential to do multiple locations. I think, like Allie said, expand first. We definitely want to have more size at our current one. Make sure that like we never abandon that. So I wouldn't want to like make another location and just be like, all right, well, screw NoDa, we're going to, I don't know, Loso or wherever, or Matthews or something like that. But I'm also very aware that there's a chance that we could open another location and make it work. It's just a lot of like, we would have to talk through, what does that mean? What are the sacrifices that come with that? Pros and cons. Does it make financial sense? Is it another burden that we want to take on? I think the second time around, you could do it better. It's like being a parent to the second kid. You're a little bit more well-versed. You know what's going on. Fortunately, our second kid is very easy. So there's that. And I'm not saying that we're the best parents, but we are pretty close. But like, if we did a second gym, I think we would know what works well for our style and our gym, and then hopefully expand that, or if we start off with a good amount of space and then see what happens from there.
We're not interested in franchising, at least at this moment. That's never been top of mind. So if we were to open other locations, we would stay very involved, and it would really be like the vision that we see instead of kind of giving someone a playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think in 3 to 5 years, obviously I want to have a strong location with great foot traffic. We're obviously profiting well. I'm hoping we'll have anywhere between 4,000 to 10,000 more square feet by that time. If not, yeah, about 4,000, 10,000 is probably what we could take. There's another unique project that we could do that I'm not going to bring up yet. But we've kind of talked about it before, of like at that same location doing something unique with that. I don't know if that would be next, or if another location would be next if we were going to do another. That would probably be about 3 years from now if we did a second location. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy.
Do you feel that we are successful right now as a gym, as what we're doing, or whatever, however you want to look at that question?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think we're not where we want to be, but we're exactly where I expect us to be right now. And I feel very successful with where we're at personally and in business. Do you?
Yeah, I agree with that statement, especially as of recently. I feel like now I'm really feeling the success because things are going in a direction that I was hoping that they would go probably 3 months ago. And if you would have asked me 3 months ago where I wanted to be, pretty much this, if not obviously better is always, or more is always better in terms of this capacity. But I do think we're on a successful track. I think we're at a really good point. I think we've got into a groove not only on the business side, on navigating business with children, and obviously our relationship specifically. Yeah, things are going as best as I would envision them to go. Are you happy with your partnership decisions?
I'll keep you for now.
That's so funny. What you got? Anything else?
Any advice for someone that wants to open their own business?
Yes, but I'm trying to think of which advice to take. I feel like there's so many things that I think of.
Or what's the one thing that you wish someone would have told you prior to opening the gym?
My biggest advice is to have a plan and stay the course, because I think especially in your first year of business, like we had talked about, there's going to be months that maybe don't look like what your predicted plan looks like, but stay calm, like keep it cool. You have a plan and you're taking action steps to get there. And I mean, things are always going to kind of flow up and down, but as long as you're trending upward and you have a good business plan, believe in that and execute. Because I think there were stressful months in the very beginning of, holy shit, do we make the right decision? Is this too much money? Like, is this the right concept? And just knowing now, like thinking back to those early months and seeing where we're at now, like we did have the right plan, and it just takes time, and it takes people knowing who we are, and we're brand new to the space. This is not a second or third location. No one knows who we are. So we're creating brand awareness, and then we're trying to sell people to join us. And so it takes time, but just stay the course and be confident in the product or space that you created.
Yeah, I think with that, one thing that no one really tells you is if you do a brick and mortar, like, you know, we were independent trainers, there's no financial investment. You don't have to like come up with some money, whether it's your personal or a loan or investment. So, you know, again, we spent $530K to make the gym what it is. That's a lot. So it makes a whole emotional, you get so much more emotionally invested, and it does make you second guess things quickly. If we would have invested $100,000, as much as that's a lot of money, it's a lot less than $500,000. So it's like you can take a little bit more risks, or you feel a little bit more confident in specific decisions, whatever they are. So in the beginning, I think that is great advice. Like, stay the course and just know that as long as you continue to work and not be reactive, but relatively proactive plus a little bit of reactive, I think there's still a little bit there, that you continue to grow month over month and you do all the right things and kick out the things that are not working, then you know that it's always going to trend upward, and then you'll be looking up.
I think it's Ah, look at you.
I do what I can.
I think that is true, especially in the fitness space. That if you have a vision, stick to it, and don't let the market around you and like what's trending dictate what you're gonna do. Because I think when you start trying to be okay at a lot of different things, you lose focus on what you're really good at. So yeah, stay the course and stay true to what you believe, and eventually it'll grow.
I feel like that's the same in the creative space too.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta imagine everyone's trying to do the same trends, the same
Yeah.
thing. So, yeah,
So
Yeah.
sweet.
we appreciate you coming, joining
Thanks
us
for
at
having
88
me.
here in NoDa.
That was fun.
Heck
Nice.
yeah.
Thanks, guys.